Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Thursday, and it's not a good day, obviously, in the markets for not only Luna, which got destroyed, and I feel for the people that were obviously invested in that. So we'll talk about that just a little bit here in the beginning. We'll also take a look at Core Scientific, Hut 8. They provided their financial results for Q1 of 2022, so we'll take a look at those. And then also Mawson provided their April production updates. We'll take a look at that as well. We'll look at the miners. It looks like some people were actually buying the dip today. And then we'll take a look at the Bitcoin as well. But as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. I'm investing in the following coins and companies and stocks. So let's take a look at what happened with Luna today, or actually in the last couple of days. So right now we're looking at Luna here. This is from Binance. I'm trying to pull the data in through TradingView. And just a couple minutes ago, it was showing me data, and now it's completely wiped out, which I think they probably just stopped trading it on Binance possibly. Latest price on Luna was 0.0030287 basically. We're also seeing Luna UST crater as well. And we can see it here in the last 5 days. It has just gone completely bonkers, and obviously depegged from the $1 value that it's supposed to hold, basically because we had a run on, I'm guessing, on Luna that felt, it was kind of like a run on the bank with Luna, which in turn obviously drove the UST peg to Luna down, and it's a cascading effect. So it's obviously a very, very sad time for a lot of people that were invested in Luna, especially since Luna was at a high of like 100 and some odd dollars, and within the last couple of days it's basically worthless now. Let's see if we can find it here possibly on another exchange so we can take a look at the actual symbol itself. Then we get the market cap, Luna Tether, BSD, Luna. Let's try maybe from Bitfinex, see if we can find anything on that one. Let's see here. Let's see if that one's okay. So you can see it here. It's not as bad on Bitfinex as it was on Binance, but it's still really bad. I mean, you can see it here within the last 1, 2, 3. I mean, basically within the last 3, 4, 5 days, it has just completely been destroyed. So a lot of people are obviously out there that have invested in it, and I feel for you guys. I've been in this space in crypto since 2017. We saw Bitcoin go up to 20,000 roughly, and then come crashing down to 3,000. I held through that period. It wasn't easy, but I also didn't have a lot invested. I only had a couple $1,000 invested, so it wasn't that bad. Some of you are obviously on like Reddit forums and things like that are reporting that you had almost 450,000 and now it's worthless. So that is absolutely painful. And I feel for you because, we don't get taught financial education in high schools and colleges. We kind of have to learn it on our own through whether it's YouTube or other avenues, other CNBC, whatever it might be. But they don't teach us how to properly invest our money in. And even now, the crypto space is so new. It's only been around for the past 11, 12 years that the information is just all out there. You see people on YouTube making, these trades and are making all these money and making it sound like it's really easy, but they don't prepare you for what could happen when the market actually does crash. So by seeing what's going on here, I kind of wanted to point out a couple of things. Number one, if you are depressed by this, please seek help. Your life is more valuable than whatever money you lost in Luna or whatever other coin you might have. Your life you can always rework, or you can undo your mistake here. Whatever amount you lost, you can make that back up over the next couple years, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, whatever it might be. You can always get a second job. You can always file bankruptcy, right? There's always avenues for you to be made whole in this, some way or some form. But you can also, there's a lot of jobs that are out there. So you can always work 2 jobs if you feel you have to, but there's ways that you can do to to get back to where you were, whether it's with your savings or whatever your plans are. It's obviously going to take you a lot longer given that, but it's obviously something that you can dig yourself out of. It's not a death sentence per se. So obviously, please do seek help if you are feeling, I don't want to say the word, but if you're feeling that bad where you want to end your life, please do seek help. There's plenty of channels where you can find help. People will help you out, obviously, to get through this. Also, on this topic, so things that I've learned is do not invest more than you're willing to lose in, especially the speculative cryptocurrencies, other than, I still think Bitcoin and Ethereum is a little bit speculative, but it's been around for so long that we've seen these peaks and valleys over time, and they've always pretty much stayed as far as market cap. Bitcoin is number 1, Ethereum is number 2. That has not changed. We've seen the number 3 spot change from one coin to the next coin over time. So I'm a little bit more confident in investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think those two are the head horses that are kind of running this race. Everything else is speculative. So please do not invest any money that you're not willing to lose. So, and then if you have made great profits on something, take those profits. If anything, take out the money that you put into it. Take out your initial investment in whatever you put into it. So if you put in a couple $1,000s into it, you're up $5,000-$10,000. Take that part out. Let the rest of the money run, basically. Whatever happens with it, but you still have your initial investment back in. The other thing is we will see these types of events happen from time to time. We've seen it with Bitcoin, we've seen it with Ethereum, we've seen it with other coins as well. We've seen it with Doge. Doge went up to 71 cents. It has fallen back down to below 6 cents today. So these events do happen from time to time. Like I said, invest what you're willing to lose, obviously. Seek help if you need help. And we'll go from there. But obviously, I wish you guys all well. I think we'll just leave it there. I do wish you guys all very, very well in these times. It's not easy. Be patient. Think things through, and I think you'll be okay. All right, so let's take a look at the miners here. So let's take a look at the miners. Here, where are we? There we go. Okay, so Annie today was down 2.34% on the day, but it's up 9.3% in the after hours. So it finished out the day at 93 cents, and it is up to $1.02 in the after hours right now. Argo was down 9.84% to 55 cents. Digital was up actually 8.11% to $1.60. It is up a little bit more in the after hours now to $1.65. Bitfarms was up 2.16% to $1.89. Up a little bit more in the after hours. It's at $2 right now. Cleanspark was up 2.39% to $5.14. It's up to $5.44 right now in the after hours. Core Scientific was up 7.24% to $3.85. It's down a little bit to $3.79 in the after hours. Digihost was down 3.38% to $1.43. DMG was up 3.59% to 26 cents. Hive was down 8.31% to 84 cents. It's up to 91 cents now in the after hours, so it's up almost what it lost during the day. Hut 8 was basically neutral on the day. It's up 2.46 in the after hours to $2.50. Iris Energy was down 4.21% to $6.60. It's up 10% in the after hours to $7.30. Luxxfolio was down 16.95%, so it's at 12 cents right now. Marathon is at $1.70. It is now at $10.15. It's up a little bit in the after hours as well to $10.30. Mawson was down 16.21% to $2.43 and up a little bit in the after hours to $2.46. Riot is up 6.87% to $7.31, up a little bit in the after hours as well to $7.54. And finally, Stronghold was down 5.83% today to $1.94. It's up a little bit in the after hours to $1.99. So obviously a mixed bag here. And these miners have been beaten down quite a bit too over the past couple months. Some of these guys are down now 80-90%. So that is very painful as well. So I do feel for you guys. I'm with you guys in this. I'm buying the dips when I can. I got to hold off right now on any more buying until I actually pay for my property taxes, which are coming due at the end of the month. So I need to hold some cash back for that. And then might be buying some more in June if things go well, but we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm just holding right now, and then I'm a long-term investor, so I have a little bit more time to buy the dips when they present themselves. All right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin here. So obviously this is Luna, which is just crazy the way it tanked. Let's go back up here to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is now at 29,843. It's up a little bit, about 3% on the day. We did hit on basically yesterday, which finished out today at 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were at a low of 25,338, which is really close to that 24,300, which was being called by some people that we may bottom out there. That is really, really close to what they reported on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the weekly chart as well. Weekly chart is looking pretty low as well. So here's a little bit good news, I guess you could say. Looking at the RSI for the weekly chart, we are about where we were this time back in March of 2020. At that point, we hit a low of $3,858. That is a huge difference from where we are right now. Does it mean we can go lower? Sure, but I don't think we're going to be getting this low anytime soon, at least not on the weekly chart. So this obviously makes me a little bit more confident that maybe, perhaps, we are getting close to bottoming out here, seeing capitulation happening in the market possibly. And we can see that obviously in the 1 hour chart where we came down here, and then we've been kind of bouncing off of that a little bit. The only thing is it's a little too early to tell right now, but on the RSI, we are a little higher than we have been in the past here for a while, and we're obviously lower in price. So I'm looking for any kind of indication that would signal to me that we have, RSI is either flat and price has increased. So kind of like between these 2 points here, I'm looking at those, and we are kind of flat in price right there. I'm looking for any kind of points where I can draw a parallel to them and see if we are, either the same going up or going down. And I can't find anything that's conclusive right now, at least within the last 12 to 24 hours. That would give me a direction of where we're possibly heading. Right now, obviously, with the price going up on it, it does seem like we may be looking to possibly test our resistance here at 32,800. If that happens, we may fall back down lower to possibly that 24,300 mark, which was we talked about in a previous video as well. So we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully we have capitulated and we've met the market bottom, but it might be a little too early to tell right now. We may go down a little bit more. Ethereum, same thing, is down to 2,050 right now. And we're seeing the same thing in Ethereum on the 1 hour chart, where it is obviously higher here. So let's take a look. Our next point was back on the 11th, and we were higher here. So it's a little too early to tell right now. And this was the 11th. We are at the 12th. So this is roughly within 24 hours or so. So like I said, it's a little hard to tell right now. Can't see it here between these points. Looking for anything that's closer. So possibly at this point we were here, and then this point down here we were a little bit lower. So RSI was about the same, but we went down. So like I said, I think we're possibly going to be going down a little bit more before all the pain is done and over with. All right. So I wish you guys all good luck there. So let's take a look at the stories here that we got going on. So Core Scientific announces first quarter 2022 results. Numbers look great, but obviously hosting looks terrible to me, and hopefully you guys can help me out with this one as well. So first quarter 2022 financial highlights compared to first quarter 2021. Total revenue increased by 255% to 192.5 million. So they are pretty close to getting almost, if things stay the same, obviously, they're pretty close to getting about 800 million. If Bitcoin goes up, they could be at $1 billion revenue for the year. Gross profit increased by 382% to 70.0 million. Net loss of 466 million, driven by non-cash market-to-market adjustments on convertible notes of 386 million, and an impairment on digital assets of 54 million. Bitcoin obviously coming down. That is an impairment. Self-mining Bitcoin production increased 1,454% to 3,202 Bitcoins. They have now 8,497 Bitcoins held as of March 31st, 2022, which is substantial. Total hash rate of 16.2 exahash, consisting of 8.3 exahash self-mining and 7.9 exahash hosting, which we know about as well. So here's what we kind of break it down a little bit. So total hosting revenue was 33.2 million, which was obviously an increase of 20 million from last year. Total equipment sales to customers. So this is kind of hard to track as far as what they're selling, but it was a decrease of 5.6 million from last year, 18%. Digital asset mining, this is what we're really tracking. I've been kind of semi-tracking the total hosting revenue, and I updated some numbers today for it. We'll take a look at it here shortly to get to those numbers, just to kind of see what things are at, but I'll also provide you guys some other information here shortly. So digital asset mining income of 133 million increased by 123.4 million, which is a lot. 1,281% from 9.6 million just a year ago. That is a huge increase. So they've done a tremendous job getting the hash rate up. And then down here, so outlook for 2022, the company now expects to achieve a total hash rate of between 30 exahash and 32 exahash, with total power of approximately 1 gigawatt. That is outstanding if they can obviously do this. Let's see, what else do we have here? Conference call, and then way down at the bottom here, bear with me while we get to it. So obviously we got liabilities, not too interested in that. Assets right now, total assets is $2.7 billion, which is just crazy. And then we'll take a look at what their actual, I haven't done it. I should have done it, but I didn't do it. I forgot to do it where I update my numbers here. So the numbers are going to be off by a day, basically, when we look at my numbers. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. Hosting revenue from customers. Let me see if I can maybe zoom this in for you guys a little bit more. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, hosting revenue from customers was 27.3 million. Then hosting revenue from related parties was another 5.8 million. So for a total of 33 million, which is what they were provided. Cost of hosting down here was $31 million. So did they actually make 2 million on that hosting, which to me is what is that? 33 million of revenue, 2 million in revenue. So 2 million, what is it? 2 million, is that 2 million divided by 33 million in revenue? 1, 2, 3. So that is like a 6% profit margin, if my calculations are correct. So that is minuscule compared to everything else that they're making. Basically, almost I wouldn't say a rounding error, but it's obviously very, very small compared to that. All right. Equipment sales was to customers 416. Equipment sales to related parties was 25 million. So cost of equipment sales was 22 million. So they made approximately 3 million on the sales of those miners. And then digital asset mining income was 133 million. And cost of digital asset mining was 68 million. So that's like a 50% profit margin on those, roughly. Yeah, I mean, it would be a little bit less than 50%, but it's basically 50%, which isn't all that great. They need to really work on getting this up. I don't know why that is so high. I would like to see that closer to the 70% mark, but we'll see if that can get improved over time. But I wanted to point that out to you guys. So let's take a look at the numbers that I have here for Core Scientific. And obviously, they reported 133 million in revenue from mining. I had them at 136 million, so I was actually high by 2.39%. So I was within my kind of margin of where I wanted to be. I wanted to be under as close as possible, but obviously I wanted to be at least under 2.5%, which is where I'm at, which is really good. Hosting revenue, I had to increase for their hosting revenue here. I haven't been tracking this, and I don't know if I'm going to track it because the margin is just so small on that, it's minuscule. But I adjusted this to basically being 25% of normal revenue. So they're possibly getting around 25% of what they're actually hashing for their customers, or something like somewhere around there. To get to the number what they reported of 33 million, this is kind of the way I figured it out. And you can see it here. It gets us to 33 million and change, which is really close to what they reported on that. So overall, I've updated my numbers here for the current quarter. And then obviously we want to use the latest numbers from them, which is really close. I mean, let's update it anyways. So those should be actually this number here. And then they reported, what did they report on assets? Assets was total liabilities. Total assets currently is 2.7 billion. I'm showing here market cap of currently $1.1 billion on core. So definitely way undervalued, in my opinion. They're trading at about less than a 5%, less than a 5 PE. Can't go any lower than that. They're like a 4 or 3, where I think they should be, based on their future growth, they should be closer to at least 20, a 20 PE in a good market. We're obviously not in a good market right now, but I would think they should be closer to $17. And well, they're 50% net income on it, so maybe $11.58 even. But between that, if they can obviously increase or improve their efficiency on the gross net profit, basically from gross profit on self-mining. All right, so like I've been saying, these miners are way undervalued. They've been beaten down even more than Bitcoin has been beaten down over the last couple months. And we'll see how this continues on. Obviously, when Bitcoin starts to rebound, these miners are going to do really well as well, I believe. Especially core, they are going to be massive as far as when it comes to mining Bitcoin. At least the ones that I'm covering here. All right, so let's get into HUT8. So HUT8 reports operational and financial results for Q1 22. And here's some numbers down here. Oh, did I not make, I didn't highlight it, did I? No. Okay, so we'll just go through it. Go through the major points here. Highlights, present operating financial overview. Okay, so total revenue was 53 million compared to 31 million the year prior. Net income was 55 million. Mining profit was 32 million, which was obviously pretty good. And earnings per share, so they made basically 33 cents per share, which is really good compared to 17 cents on that. Financial position, cash, they have about 78 million. And these are all in Canadian, by the way. Numbers in Canadian. Unless, what do they say? Canadian except per share amounts. Okay. So revenue for the quarter ended March 31, I can't speak. March 31st, 2022 was 53.3 million compared to 32 million. We know that. The company generated about 942 Bitcoins and generated 49.3 million of revenue versus 539 Bitcoin mined and 30.6 million. Let's see. Okay, here's an interesting part. So the company's newly acquired high-performance computing operations added 3.3 million of revenue, reflecting 2 months worth of contributions. The company estimates that recurring revenue from the high-performance computing business will increase 15 to 18% over the course of 2022. HUT8's preliminary view is that this acquired business will generate gross margins ranging between 35 to 40%, with opportunities to further optimize margins going forward. So that's a good thing. Let's see what else do we have here that's interesting. Net income was 55.7. We saw that digital asset consists of Bitcoin, which had a balance of 6,460 Bitcoin and a market value of 367 million. March 31st, this balance consisted of 4,460 Bitcoin held in custody and 2,000 held under lending arrangements. And that is it. Okay, so great quarter for them, obviously. Let's take a look at my numbers for HUT8, which I believe I have updated. Yep, I did. Okay. So I was off from HUT8 only 0.83% from what I was expecting them to make. I had them at 53,700,000 Canadian. They came in at 53,330,000 Canadian dollars. So I was only off by 8.3. Really happy about this. and makes me feel good that I was able to get that close. And that's kind of the goal with all the miners, just to get them as close to their actual reports as possible. Sometimes it's not easy, especially with the ones that are mining like Ethereum, like they are. And you can see here that I've actually updated or changed some of the pricing on Ethereum mining, just to kind of get them to where they were making the amounts based on these figures here. So on Bitcoin, so January, February, March, obviously they made 308 in Bitcoins, 289 Bitcoins in February, 345 in March. And I tried to get them as close, kind of estimated a little bit on the Ethereum, but got it really close. So I'm happy with that. Looking at them, obviously they're undervalued like the rest of them are. The only thing is, I know that they're going to be trying to grow, but right now they are about 77% operational from future hash rate right now. We don't have any reports on any further miners being bought or anything like that, or any news that they're going to be buying miners. And they're trading at $2.44. This was yesterday's numbers, and that would bring us down to about a 4 or a 3 price earnings multiple. I think with the low increase in hash rate that they're going to have, future hash rate, I could see them getting maybe a 10 PE or something like that. So they still should be around $6.73, not the $2.44 where they are currently. And, it's kind of the market that we're in right now, unfortunately. So, like I said, these miners have gotten beaten down. Now might be a good buying opportunity. I've been buying the ones that I really like. So, not financial advice as always. You guys know the drill on that. All right, finally, let's get into the last one. This is going to be a long video, and I apologize. Obviously, I wanted to talk to you guys about Luna and what's going on in there, and get into other miners and kind of provide my little tidbits and thoughts on all this stuff that's going on. So, Mawson Infrastructure Group Inc. announced April 2022 Bitcoin self-mining, hosting, co-location, and operational update. Excuse me. I'm starting to lose my voice here. So I did mark it up here. Okay. So Bitcoin self-mining update. In April, Mawson produced 171 Bitcoin, which is an increase of 384 versus April of 2021. And I'm sorry, guys. I had to take a sip here. My voice is starting to go. I've been talking too long. April average hash rate was at approximately 1.3 exahash, which was a 583% versus 2021. And then April end of month hash rate at approximately 1.4 exahash, which is at 679% versus April of 2021, which is really good. May end, so the month of May, end of month hash rate expected to be approximately 1.8. So that would be about 400 petahash increase from where they are right now, which would be really good, producing approximately 8 Bitcoins per day. Mawson hosting co-location at 28 megawatts online end of April. So that's an increase of 75% versus March 2022. Expected to rise to approximately 52 megawatts, so almost double online by end of May. That's at 85% versus April. And Mawson customers Celsius mining 100 megawatts and Foundry Digital 12 megawatts deployments are scaled up. What else do we have here? Some little updates here. So Sandersville, Georgia facility, 38 modular data centers online. Site now fully operational at approximately 80 megawatts. Excuse me. Stage 3 expansion approved to 230 megawatts, capable of accommodating up to 7.5 exahash, which is really good. But development planning for 150 megawatt expansion commencing in June of 2022. And then New South Wales, Australia facility. The facility is expected to be fully operational with approximately 400 petahash online by June 2022, which is also really good. And then expected hash rate growth. Mawson expects Bitcoin self-mining to be at 4 exahash by Q3 of 2022. And they're targeting 5.5 exahash online by early Q1 2023 is being reiterated. So that's really good as well. And I believe that is it. Let's take a look at my numbers that I have for Mawson. And I think Mawson was the last one we were waiting on to provide the numbers here. And April, I got them to 1.4. Yep. So I updated the numbers here. So for April, to get into 1.4 exahash, we had to install basically 525 of these 98 terahash miners here. We also installed 150 of these 90 terahash miners that they ordered a while back. And these are a mixture of 83, 85, 87, 90. And it's just averaged out to be about 90. So I'm just going with that number there. We have those mining at 20 days in the month. The rest of them I had to bring down basically, what is that, a day and a half or something like that. for the numbers to work out to get to about 6.4 million, which is what they reported as far as possibly making with the 171 Bitcoins they made in April, which got us to 6.4 million based on the closing price of Bitcoin for the end of April. Slight increase, obviously, from the month prior, one Bitcoin more, so that's basically 0.59%. Institutions for them stayed pretty much the same. Institutions was 19, 2.6 million, 3.67% owned. We still have 2 buy ratings. Prices stayed the same as far as analysts' ratings on those. So there, nothing has changed there. The only thing, we don't have a BTC hodl from them either. They didn't report anything like that. They are currently at $2.90. I am at 14. They should be, yeah. So they're trading at approximately price earnings multiple of around 4, maybe 4.5, something like that. So obviously very low, undervalued in my opinion. What else do we have here on them? So for the first quarter, it looks like we're looking to be at close to 20 million in revenue. The second quarter, we're looking to be about 15 million or so, 15.5, depending obviously where Bitcoin ends up at right now. Bitcoin is a little bit higher right now. But obviously with them going to be at approximately 5.5 exahash or what do they say, 4 exahash at the end of the year, I could see them being at around 10 to 12 price earnings multiple when the market starts picking back up. So I do think they should be at about $8.24. That would be, what, about 3x or so from here, from where they are right now. So like I said, way undervalued in my opinion. They are doing obviously good things, especially if they get to the 1.8 exahash at the end of this month, which would be nice to see as well. So that would be nice, good growth for them there. Okay, so that was a lot. We got through it. Like I said, I do feel for obviously the people that invested in Luna, lost their shirts over it. Please be careful out there. Invest in these coins thinking that you're possibly going to be losing everything. If you're up a lot, take some profits. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. And I probably should say that more often in my videos, which I don't. And I don't personally do it myself either, so I can't blame you guys for not doing it either. But I'm in it for the long run, and even if, you know, I'm willing to bet things will obviously improve. But for Luna, it's pretty much a done deal. I think it's over with. I don't know how they're going to get out of it. But that's why I only invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum a lot. Some of the other coins, I invest what I'm willing to lose on those if those don't work out. But I'm also investing in the miners, so I'm kind of diversifying as best I can. I don't want to be in just one thing all in on. I think that's a big mistake there as well. And I'm also looking to get into real estate if I can. So I'm trying to diversify as best I can. I hope you guys are doing the same thing. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully things get better from here. It's tough. And then I'll see you guys in the next one. So tomorrow's Friday. We'll see what the week ended up, whether Bitcoin was actually flat from the prior week, if we were possibly going to be up a little bit, or if we're going to be down. So that will obviously be telling, because we're right now having, 6 weeks in red on Bitcoin, which is just crazy. All right, enough of me rambling on. Have a wonderful day, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.